Hello there and welcome back to another episode of the HT Physio Quick Tips series. My name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties Specialist Physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the process of arthritis. More specifically, I'm going to be answering the question of what arthritis actually is and are there any things we can do to prevent it or slow it down. Now, to help me with my explanation, I'm going to use the knee model that I have here. So this is the knee model. It's pretty well represented in terms of its accuracy here. We won't go through the full thing, but basically to understand arthritis, we need to understand the fact that arthritis relates to the cartilage that sits between the joints in our body, okay? So a joint is any area of the body where two bones meet each other. So we're going to be talking about the area between the femur, which is the thigh bone, and the tibia, which is the shin bone. Okay, so this stuff here, there's a meniscus in there as well, but we'll pretend that this is all cartilage. So when we have a healthy knee, what we have is a nice thick layer of cartilage that sits between the two bones, and it acts almost like a shock absorber. It helps to keep everything lubricated. It stops too much force from traveling up, especially in the weight-bearing joints, and it keeps everything flexible and mobile and happy, okay? Now, arthritis is basically just the process of cartilage loss, and this happens as a result of aging. But it would be far too simplistic to just say, oh, it's just age that causes arthritis, there's nothing you can do. So let's actually talk about what happens on a more detailed level when we go through the aging process. Now, to understand how we lose cartilage in the joints, we need to understand that there are two cells or two types of cells that live inside the cartilage in every joint in your body, okay? One type of cell lays down new cartilage, okay? And this type of cell is working all the time throughout our entire lives, replacing cartilage that's damaged or cartilage that gets worn away or lost. It's laying down new cartilage, so it's like a bricklayer. Now there's another type of cell, and this cell does the opposite, okay? So it takes away cartilage. And you might think, why do we have a cell that takes away cartilage? Surely that's bad. And that would be wrong, because this type of cell that takes the cartilage away is there for a very good reason. And that reason is that it takes away cartilage that's damaged or old. And because it's taken it away, the other type of cell can lay new cartilage down. So both of these cells are very, very important. Now, when we're younger, okay, we tend to have quite an equal activity between the two cells. So the one that lays it down is working pretty hard, and then the other 50% of the time, the one that takes it away is working pretty hard. So when we're in younger life, they're working in perfect equilibrium. So for every brick that gets taken away, another brick gets laid down. Now, when we get older, what tends to happen is the type of cell that takes the cartilage away actually increases in activity. So it starts to work harder, which means it's taking away more and more bricks, all right? And the type of cell that lays the cartilage down is actually working less hard. So you're getting less and less bricks replaced. So you end up with areas where you're losing net cartilage. So cartilage is slowly decreasing. So that's actually what's happening with age. It's not just cartilage being worn away by activity and once it's gone, it's gone. It doesn't work like that at all. It's always being replenished, it's always being replaced, but at different rates as we age. Now, obviously a lot of that is outside of our control, but there are things we can do to speed up the negative changes, and there are things we can do to slow down the negative changes too. Now, one of the things that actually makes it worse and speeds it up is putting too much pressure through the joints, too much stress and strain on a repetitive way. And I don't just mean strain by things like walking, Talking about strain in the way of lifting things with poor technique, or doing lots of twisting, or lots of shearing forces on the joint, or walking around and doing normal activities with very, very tight muscles, because this causes compression of the joints, which can make the shearing forces worse, and walking around with weak muscles. Okay, so that means there's less muscle mass there to support the joints, which means that cartilage loss gets worse. On the flip side, there are things we can do to improve the activity of those bricklaying cells and slow down the activity of the ones that take the cartilage away. Okay, and those things include doing lots of weight bearing, so being active, walking lots, even running can help, things like that. Making sure that you're still climbing stairs. What we have realized about the joints in our body is that, to borrow on a term from an author called Nassim Taleb, the joints in our body are anti-fragile. Okay, they're not just robust and resilient, they actually improve when we throw certain stresses at them. Okay, this is how bones get stronger. Bones get stronger if we lift weights and we walk and we run and we do weight bearing things. They don't just resist the force of gravity, they actually improve underneath it. The same is true of the joints. So we need to do weight bearing activity. Okay, that includes walking, that includes lifting weights at the gym, that includes running, that includes even cycling to a degree, although cycling is not as good as weight bearing for cartilage gain. But all of these things will help to improve your cartilage and slow down the process of arthritis. Other things that can improve the situation are having a proper diet, because obviously where these cells are trying to work, they're doing their best to replenish the cartilage. They need to be well functioned and they need to be supplied by positive fuel and hydration. So making sure that you're eating a good diet full of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, and all the vitamins and minerals really, really helps. And the other thing is maintaining hydration all the way throughout the day, because if we get dehydrated, none of the cells in our body work as well as they should. Now, physiotherapy interventions can really help this problem, because we would strengthen up the muscles around a joint to support it, which slows down the process of arthritis, helps replenish cartilage, and actually improves the symptoms. We'd also decrease the pressure from the joint by stretching a muscle and making sure that everything is flexible and mobile. And all of these things tend to lead to less pain and even an improvement in the physical state of the joint itself. Anyway, I hope that's been interesting for you. Remember, if you're struggling with an arthritic problem, even if you've been told there's nothing that can be done, that's often not the case. So do get in contact for a second opinion if that's you right now. The other thing you can do, if you're interested in learning more about how you can slow down the process of arthritis and make the most of life over the age of 50, you can pick up my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and it has tons of tips and advice in there to help you to get the most out of life in your 50s and beyond. Other than that, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Please do hit the like button below this video and subscribe to the channel and share it with a friend if you enjoyed it. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next video.